In this tutorial, I'm going to build a simple address book application using Java Inventor. So I'll start by creating a new project by clicking the New button and typing in the name of my project, Address Book. And this creates the new project and selects it, so I'll go ahead and click Open, and this brings up the new empty application. So I'll start by creating a data table to hold our contacts, and I'll say New File, and I'll choose Data Table, click OK. And this brings up the table configuration panel, and I'll go ahead and type in the name of my table, Friend, and I'll name some fields. The first field, name, then I'll add one for address, add one for city, state, zip, and I'll add one for phone. And then I'll go ahead and click OK, and this creates the table. So I can go ahead and do some direct entry just by clicking Add Record. And I'll type in my friend John Doe on Main Street in New York. Give him a phone. And then I can also bring in data from a spreadsheet or a tab delimited file by clicking Import Data. And this brings up the import panel. Then I can take my data, I can copy and paste it in, or I can just drag and drop that file into the import panel. And after I approve it, I click Import, and this imports all the data from my tab delimited file into the database. So now I can go ahead and create a UI file, so I'll say New File, and I'll choose a JavaFX graphics file, and I'll name this Address Input. And it creates a new JavaFX file that's empty. I'll say Show in Editor. And then here I can go ahead and design a simple backdrop. So I'll drag out a rectangle, set a color for this, maybe drag out a text field, type in Address Book for my header, and I can make this bold and a little bigger, and I can center it. And then I can go to the Effects Inspector and set a drop shadow on it. Then I can go ahead and add some UI, so I'll bring up the gallery, and in the gallery I'll go ahead and drag in a list to show all my contacts, size this, and then I'll drag out a label here, and I'll configure this to say Contacts, and then on the side I'll go ahead and add a label and a text field. And the label I'll align to the right, and I'll reset this to be name. And then I'll copy and paste these for my other fields. Address, city, state, zip, and phone. And then I will go to the Keys panel, and it shows my friend table in here. So I'll just drag and drop this into the document, and I'll choose a data binder so we can hook it up to the UI. And this adds this to the bottom of our document. And with this selected, I see all the keys inside of the friend table, and I can just drag and drop these into our UI. So I'll add the name to the list, and I'll add it to the text field, and I'll set address in the next one, city, state, zip in the next one, and phone in the last one. And I'll go ahead and save this, double click on this file, and it'll launch this as a separate application talking to our data table. So now we see all the data has been loaded up, and we can select through and make modifications. So I'll go ahead and close this now and go back to the UI and the gallery and go ahead and add a couple of buttons here. The bottom, and the first one I'll call Add, and the next one I'll call Remove, and I'll manually set the bindings for these to have the first button talk to the friend binder and say binder add, and the second one will talk to the friend binder and say binder remove. So again, we'll save, we'll double click on this, we'll get the same application with all the data in it. We can click through, and then when we get a new friend, we click Add, type in his name, address, and a phone. And this completes our demo of creating a running address book application inside of Java Inventor.